Hello, this is Mike de Broom from Lentmark Coaching and Health Solutions, and today I'd like to discuss with you the principle of law of rhythm. Now, I deeply believe that our lives and our businesses are run by universal principles, and law of rhythm is one of them. Now, good old Napoleon Hill already said it quite some time ago. He stated it like this: there is a wheel around which the affairs of men revolve, and its mechanism is such that it prevents any man from being always fortunate. Now, that's pretty much the law of rhythm in action. The law of rhythm says, put simply, what goes up must come down. And it's the same in business. In business, we talk about the business life cycle, where there is an inception phase or a startup phase, then there is growth, development, there's maturity, and then slowly there is decline. Now, in business, if that decline period is not followed up by some form of transformation or innovation, then that will be the end of the business, and that can take years. Now, clients come to me all the time asking me, or rather telling me, in their business, up until whatever time I was doing quite okay, but since whatever time I seem to be doing quite bad. What is going on? What I do in my practice is tell people and teach people that, first of all, this is the law of rhythm in action, and second of all, that they need to be aware of the distinction between two major happenings. It's either part of the law of rhythm, which is something that happens whether you like it or not. You know, sun comes up, sun goes down, that sort of stuff. Or it's the cause of a downturn. Now, if it's law of rhythm in action, don't even worry about doing something about it, because you can't. Law of rhythm is law of rhythm. We can resist the fact that it gets dark at night, but you can't do much about it. If it's a downturn caused by either inaction or action of some form, then we can definitely do something about it. I teach people to distinguish between the two. Especially in marketing efforts, you see quite often that people, when things go downhill, and I'm not talking about the cause of the going downhill yet, but when things go downhill, then they frantically start to get into action by putting out more flyers, putting online and offline efforts into place, talking to people, marketing themselves more and more and more. And then two things happen. Either it works or it doesn't work. If their efforts do not work, then generally that's the cause of law of rhythm. There was a natural downturn, and it's absolutely futile to resist. Now, you can distinguish between those two: a downturn caused by action or inaction, or a natural cycle being law of rhythm. And personality type plays a very big role in that. Once you know what the reason is, whether it's a downturn or a natural cycle, you can start to work with it, because life becomes a lot easier, your business life too. What I teach people is to step back and say, okay, what's going on? Could this be the cause of something that's natural and cannot be resisted? Or is this situation caused by something I have done or not done, or my business has done or not done? Now, if it's the cause of a natural downturn, like I told you, it's absolutely futile to do something against it. The wisest thing you can do is just sit still, hold back, ride it out, and start over when the storm has blown over. Or not even start over, but start from where you left off. I've mentioned it before to many clients, and I've saw it in my own practice, where I did marketing efforts that had no result at all because there was a natural downturn going on. And then I did the same marketing efforts, but knowing I was in an uphill stream, and then suddenly everything went better. And I had a client not too long ago. He was a highly paid professional, probably still is, and he saw that his job was slipping from under him. He was highly paid, but suddenly his position came under threat. His bosses became more naggy at him, started criticizing him, and he saw that he could lose his job within no time. First of all, he started to fret, to panic, and wanted to do things about it, whereas really in his life in that company it was a natural downturn going on. His time was up. Once he could see that, he could actually let go of all his stress and release to the situation, or let himself release into the situation and say, okay, whatever comes, comes. Now, that takes guts. That's not something you do really easily. But in his case, it paid off. About 2 weeks after he left his job, because he got sacked, obviously, and that was in the numbers anyway. 2 weeks after he got sacked, he got a job offer with a much higher profile firm, with way higher salary and all sorts of extra perks that he didn't get in his previous job. And boy, was he glad he actually let that old job go. Now again, it took guts, but he did it, and it paid off. Are you able to have the courage to sometimes sit still, wait for the storm to blow over in your business, in your personal life, wherever it takes place? There's a great saying that goes like, serenity is not seeking shelter from the storm, it's finding peace within it. And I think it is so true. Now obviously there are way more laws at play than only the law of rhythm, and law of attraction is one of them, both in business and in our personal lives. And on top of that comes personality type. We all act to different rhythms, we all act to different ways of attraction. Now obviously my 3 or 5 minute video doesn't allow me to go too deeply into that, so if you want to know more about the workings of law of rhythm or any of the other universal laws, please feel free to contact me. I'm just an email or a call away. Just email me at mark, M-A-R-C, at landmark, with a C at the end, .info. Mark, M-A-R-C, at landmark, L-A-N-D-M-A-R-C.info, and I'll be happy to engage in a conversation with you. Looking forward to it. Have a good one.